Hi. Oh. So BLAXIT family, BLAXIT family, BLAXIT family. H.
BLAXIT family, BLAXIT family. Greetings, everyone. It's been a while since I come on a live, but I'm here tonight. We're gonna have an interesting debate tonight.
I'm Juliet, but now actually I'm Nyancho Kajabi. So get used to it, everybody, because I'm formally integrated into Gambia, and I am a Busura citizen and also co-opted onto the VDC. So with that being said, we're going to talk about tonight's hot topic. So we're hoping that people will be joining us. I'd like to say hello to Ricardo for jumping on, and hopefully more people will be jumping on. We'll be saying hello to you as you join.
Greetings, Supreme.
Yeah, peace, family. Thank you very much. Please keep your comments going. I just want to introduce you to our guest today. We'll be talking to, I'm just going to unmute. We'll be talking to Bijinois Gina.
Hey, family.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Got to turn off Alexa. I got the snitch on. Okay, so there she is. That being said, hey family, nice to be here. Thank you for having me, and everybody in the comments, come on, share this live. This is going to be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, a totally interesting conversation. Now I'm going to wait for a few more people to join. While I do that, I'm going to ask you, how have you been, my sister from across the pond?
I'm just watching everybody cross the ocean, going over to the continent. I'm telling you, it's getting harder to be here because there's so many people. I mean, every time I turn around, somebody else has hit the continent, and it's just the most amazing thing. And to be honest with you, it's a little sad because I'm still here and I'm watching it happen. So I'm looking forward to getting to the Gambia. I just can't wait. So yeah, other than that, I'm okay.
Yeah.
So how's it going?
Coming.
Yes, I see that. Smash the like button. I like that. Supreme Mel, nice. What I was gonna say is, how's everything going in the beautiful Gambia, the smiling coast? How's everything going for you guys?
Yeah, everything's been going great. We had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I've got to say, wasn't it, Age?
Yeah.
On Saturday, we had the Busra Borehole Project opening ceremony, and wow,
I saw the video, man. It was beautiful. So everything is now in reference to the Busra hole. I don't know if everybody knows this in the comments, but there's a video out there. BLAXIT posted a video. It's beautiful. I mean, just the fact how they welcomed you. I especially like when the women were singing as they were coming in. I was like, oh my God,
yeah.
I just feel like I need to be
it's your birthday. It's your birthday. But apparently I got it so wrong. But let me welcome everybody else. Last African, BLAXIT for life. Thank you. Latia
Williams.
Yeah, Latia Taylor, peace and love, king and queens.
King Sugar.
Yeah, King Sugar TV, blessings. One love and respect, brother. Bubba Tune, hello, beloved sister and brother. Linda Gar Group, Denise Clark, Linda Moss. So we're just going to say hello. So yeah, so that event was amazing, and the welcome was phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, the thing that really, nearly brought me to tears. In fact, I just started dancing as Juliet does. Was at the very end when they surprised me. Hi, is that G Festival? Yeah. So hi, Jamal, G Festival.
James.
Yeah, he likes to be called Jamal.
Jamal.
Yeah. So everybody, I hope you're coming to the G Festival. There's going to be Devontae, Tanta Metro, Egyptian, and others.
Okay.
And happening in March, starting from March the 10th, kicking off. So you know, hopefully he can maybe join us a little bit later and talk about it. But there's been a lot of news going on in the Gambia as well. So let's bless up Franche Gutunga Koyo from California, Michelle Sims, T. Spencer,
Last African,
Us 92. Hello, BLAXIT, Nakagudi B. Yeah, Nakagudi B, back to you.
So the Dream Gang family, through his artistry, thrill of liberation. Greetings
family. Thank you for joining us. So there's 95 people on the stream so far, so that's a good number to start with. I like to start with 100. So
hit the like button.
Share for us. Yeah, and hit that like button. If you can share for us with your friends and family via WhatsApp or any other platform or on Facebook, and get people to join this very hot topic that we're going to be discussing today. So I'm going to start off by reading a government statement that was issued here in the government by the government yesterday, okay, in response to a social media post that was made on a social media platform here called What's on Gambia. Now, What's on Gambia is a very controversial platform. And so, yeah, that's what I'd like to say, is that they're very controversial. I can't always say whether their sources are correct or the information is correct, but the information was put out to social media. And when it was put out to social media, it, you know, has created a storm, literally a storm, amongst us as African descendants worldwide. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about there's been a tour that has been made by the president of the Gambia, His Excellency Adama Barrow, which is constitutional, and it's a 30-day tour. And as a result of that, he meets the villages and he meets the people, and various ministers, they talk. And if you want to, you can actually put, you know, President meet the people, Esu or wherever other locations are, or just in the Gambia, and it will come up. So you can actually watch it. Some of it is also in local languages, so there might only be so much that you can actually grasp. So now we've gone over the 100 mark, I can actually start talking about the subject. So our special guest today discussing this issue with us is our lovely sister from across the pond, and Adrian's going to make a comment while I look for the press release.
I just want to say something quickly. Thanks everyone. We have 122 people watching at the moment. What I would like to say, if you could please keep the comments clean, and we don't want any insults going towards the ministers of government here. We just want to keep it respectful, you know, because they're themselves doing a hard job, you know, and we got to always be respectful with the ministers of government, you know. So let's keep it respectful here so that we don't disrespect them, you know. And His Excellency Adama Barrow, he's on a tour, and he's speaking to his people. What I would like to see introduced here in the Gambia is that they also educate the local people about us coming back, so that they understand that we are coming from, you know, from a history, you know, history that is not good, you know, and we are the descendants of the enslaved, those that was taken against their will. We are the survivors that now making it back home after a long, hard journey. So what I'm saying, what we need at this moment is education, re-education, you know, so that the families, whether you're in the continent or you're in the diaspora, we've got to see ourselves as one Africa. It wasn't our fault that we're being separated. So now we're coming back. We got to respect each other, you know, and I will stress the point, let's respect the politicians in power. So as I was saying, let's keep our comments clean, you know, because sometimes you never know who is watching, you know. It's not about disrespect, it's about re-education. You know, as sometimes changes could come with a lot of obstacles, but together we will fight against the obstacles and make sure that we have a smooth interaction with us from the diaspora and the continental African. It's one love. We are the same people. You know, we are the same people. You know? So let's just respect the government, respect authority, and we could have a clean and nice debate tonight. All right? Thank you all for watching.
Okay, so I'm going to read the statement anyway that was released by the government in response to a social media post. But whether the social media post was accurate or not, it was inflammatory enough to create a storm in the Black community and to give me multiple WhatsApp messages, emails, and telephone calls. So yeah, I've been dealing with this all day. And so as a result of that, we issued our own press release, which I'm not going to read out here because it's specifically for local press for local issues. But what I am going to do is to read out the press release that was released by the government. And then I will break down why they responded. So basically, what was it? Monday. Let's have a look. Here's the press release. So this press release was released by His Honourable Ibrahim Asankoro, who is the spokesperson for the government, and also very educated, very astute and intelligent man, very nice man, I might hasten to add. I've had the pleasure of meeting, I bumped into him once in Senegambia, and he seems very rational as well. So the press release is dated the 9th of December, which was yesterday, and it's regarding Gambia government clarification on land grabbing by foreign investors. That is the title. So it says, Kirwan North Bank region. In the wake of widespread reports attributing discriminatory remarks to the local government minister about land grabbing, the Gambian government wishes to allay fears of diasporian Gambians that the remarks attributed to the Honourable Musa Drame are totally false and grossly exaggerated to potentially smear the image of the minister and the Barrow government. So I hope you hear me. Let me know if I'm going too quickly, okay? So it then says, this is the topic for debate today. On the contrary, on day one of the presidential tour, Honourable Musa Drame cautioned farmers in Esu, Lower Numi district, and Lamin village, Upper Numi district, to be very wary of some foreigners posing as genuine investors who may eventually end up seizing their lands and rendering them landless, as has happened in Zimbabwe and South Africa during colonialism. In fact, Honourable Musa Drame had advised traditional landholders to always liaise with their district chiefs, what we call CEFOs, and regional governors to help them work out the modalities of lease agreements, lest they fall prey to these dubious merchants. Minister Drameh said his ministry was aware of some foreign merchants masquerading as well-meaning investors who would end up buying several acres of land. I don't know how, though, because they're not supposed to be allowed to, but we'll go into that later. Buying several acres of land to the detriment of unsuspecting innocent citizens.
Wow.
He reminded them both, oh, that little extra bit was me saying that, by the way, it wasn't in there. So just to remind you, that was my ad-lib, sorry. Yeah, I'll go back and keep to what was said, yeah? So, in fact, Honourable Musa Drameh had advised regional landholders to always liaise with their district chiefs and regional governors to help them work out the modalities of lease agreements, lest they fall prey to these dubious merchants. Minister Drameh said his ministry was aware of some foreign merchants masquerading as well-meaning investors who would end up buying several acres of land to the detriment of unsuspecting innocent citizens. He reminded them that their lands remain the most precious natural heritage bequeathed to them by their ancestors, and they should therefore always protect and jealously preserve these priceless inheritance to eventually pass on to future generations. Therefore, the Gambia government wants to make it very clear that neither the local government minister nor the government itself ever made discriminatory remarks towards diasporian Gambians and other ethnic groups or diaspora Africans, as it is being falsely circulated on some networks and gossip columns. Signed, Ibrahima J. Sankara, the Gambian government spokesperson. So I would like to say, as an African descendant, that I've read and heard what they have to say. And in fact, I went further than that. I had a conversation with both parties, okay? And so I've asked for the other party to actually send me evidence of their claims so that we can, put this matter to bed. So I'm just going to check in my phone to see if I have anything sent to me, because I've asked for a recording. Yeah. Let's have a look. So, like I said, it's been noted and said that it could be a very dubious, claim, and it's an alleged claim. It's not possibly that it comes from as a real report, but nevertheless, it circulated on social media, and it seemed to be very inflammatory. And I responded to it. So I'm going to read out to you. Now you've heard the government response to it, which is the official response, which is one that we're actually going with. To be fair, we're a little bit biased in the sense that we don't have any evidence to support the other claims, and also the other source has been known before, to create very inflammatory posts. So I'm just going to stay in the middle and neutral on this because I don't want to be. Okay. So I'm just going to go to the actual post itself. Let's have a look if I can find it and have a read to you of what was said. So let's have a look. Okay, here we go. So the headline, which was obviously, you know, very grabbing, and this came out first thing in the morning. So, you know, you've just woken up and you see this, and it says landowners in the country have been advised against leasing lands to African American, Blackish, and Caribbeans living in the country. So, of course, you know,
I'm not sure, guys. I think
okay, so we've got buffering. It's okay, you know, conveniently. So I'm waiting for the page to load. It seems as though all of a sudden my internet's gone really slow.
I can hear you.
No, I've got it. So the next headline, as you go into the line, and if you want to see, go on to Facebook, and you can go on to What's on Gambia, and you'll see the article because it's still there. They haven't removed it, which is quite interesting. I would have thought that if someone said what you're saying is untrue, you would have removed it. But anyway, Minister warns Gambians against selling land to diaspora Africans, sorry. And then it goes in to say, landowners in the country have been advised against leasing or selling land to African Americans, Black, British, and Caribbeans living in the country. The Minister of Lands and Regional Government, Honourable Musa Drama, said, don't sell your land to some of them. Now, I just want to pause to say, if that was said, it's ambiguous. Yeah? So this is probably where this article came from. So I'll continue anyway with what was actually said. That was me saying it was ambiguous, okay? So, and I agree with you, Rachel Taylor, actually.
Yes.
We're going to create bonds. We're not into creating division, but we have a responsibility to discuss this, because if automatic citizenship had been dealt with properly, then this wouldn't even be an issue, because we would know it doesn't apply to us. Okay? This would be a misnomer. You wouldn't even take any notice of it. But because it's still a hotbed of controversy at the moment, this is what's created the problem, because we're still in nowhere land in terms of that. So let me just carry on. The Minister of Lands and Regional Government, Honourable Musa Jama, said, don't sell your land to some of them. He was speaking during the Meet the People tour in Yuso on Monday. The tour, which is constitutionally mandated, will last for 30 days, during which President Adama Barrow and his ministers are expected to dialogue with people. During a brief speech, Minister Drame disclosed his ministry had been receiving reports of landowners selling land to diaspora Africans without due process or carefully thought out procedures. Yeah, he described the act as wrong, alleging that some of the diaspora Africans are land grabbers. They claim to be investors, but some of them are land grabbers. This is in quotes, by the way. Yeah. They want your land before you sign any document. I think that would be very hard, but anyway. Sorry, right? They want your land before you sign any document. Make sure you conduct a background check on them, the minister advised. He added, if you give them your land with their name on all the documents, it will be very difficult to reclaim it in the future. So Jeremy also advised landowners to refer to diaspora Africans wishing to acquire land to the relevant authorities, particularly his ministry and area councils. Okay, so I'm going to read a couple of the comments underneath this post, some by obviously other African descendants. So there's Shanice Lindsay, and she's a fellow YouTuber, Sister Lindsay's show, Sister Shanice's show, you know, big sister there, from the UKKK. And she says, how can he justify denying the descendants of his ancestors from returning and buying land so they can connect with their continent? I hope what this minister is saying equally applies to the Chinese, Lebanese, Indians, Pakistani, and white Europeans who have been welcomed land grabbers for hundreds of years. Today, these real foreigners are in possession of real estate land, farmland, and even the fishes in the seas. I don't hear any minister complaining.
Shout out to Sister Shanice. I agree.
Yeah. And then we have other Gambians making different comments and other diasporans making other comments. Yeah. And a lot of people said, Tasha, no discount black says, I agree, no due diligence, keep big investors out. I think it's a bit late for that, sister. So I want to now go into the debate. I've given both sides of the story, given 2 comments. One's keep your big investors out. And I think it's, like I said, too late for that. But I want to go into the debate. Now, first of all, we're going to ask Gina, my sister Bijunua, yeah, to give us a commentary, a balanced commentary between both perspectives. Obviously, this is alleged, okay? And I want to make that clear that the What's on Gambia post is alleged because we don't have any proof to support it. But because it's been circulated all over the world and has created negative comment and negative feeds, we have to discuss it as a point of reference. And in addition to that, we also have to take a stance from the government because, you know, we're going into a political foray because of the fact that elections are coming. And as we know, there's always, you know, people in the mix doing all different things in order to win the next election. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, now I've set the context. I'd like to know, you know, what are your views on this whole subject? Because like I said, let's pretend that the allegations aren't real. Yeah. And let's go into the government statement and then let's balance it out.
Okay, I'll try to right now I'm gonna say this first and foremost, you know, based on what I've heard, seen in the comments, everyone's saying What's on Gambia is basically a fake headlines most of the time that you see on that. It's not a reputable company. A lot of times the information isn't real based on the research that I saw. So right now, like you said, it's alleged and we don't really know what, you know, if this minister even said any of that. But you did read the government statement and something was said. To that respect, you know, I'm going to say this. I knew that there were going to be some unlayering. I know that there are going to be some, you know, as we are transitioning back home, there's going to be some discomforts. There's going to be some statements that we hear throughout the diaspora. And we cannot be triggered by this because our brothers and sisters, I truly believe, for the most part, want us home. And I truly believe that, you know, the smiling coast of Gambia have more people in it that, you know, are looking forward to, you know, embracing their brothers and sisters throughout, you know, whoever's coming. Not everybody's going to the Gambia, first and foremost, but those of us that choose to go there, I truly believe there are more people waiting to embrace us. When I first saw it, yes, it did what it was supposed to do. You know, that title was a little off-taking, but then I had to come to terms to the reality after reading that, you know, a lot of people said that this the outlet that put this news out is not reputable, and all the information may not be factual. I'm hoping and I'm praying that, you know, the fact that our ancestors on both sides, continental and off continental, are trying to bring us together. This unification thing is the most important thing. We can't let anything divide us or cause division. So what I would like, you know, for the diaspora to do, and this is just my opinion, is to understand that this is an unlayering process. There's going to be some negatives. We're going to hear some positives. Let's just try to move forward. In reference to the government stance on it, this is our birthright. If this was handled, this should have never been taken off the Constitution. And I'm feeling like the moment that they were able to start talking, you know, Constitution and being able to invoke laws, the first thing that should have been put on the plate throughout Africa is the fact that, you know, the descendants of slaves should have complete right to come home. Now, to talk about the land grabbing, I don't think that's even an option. I think there are laws that already prohibit people from being able to do anything, certain things. So those of us that are coming home, I don't know. I went through BLAXIT, and I know that Team BLAXIT is doing everything accordingly. You know, so that being said, I feel secure with that. I can't speak for other outlets and what they're doing, but I can definitely say that, you know, you went through a process. It's all documented in your videos. You've followed the process. You have a collar, you have you know, different jurisdictions, you're having paperwork come back and forth. So like you said, until they can show proof stating otherwise that people are land grabbing, I don't think it should be something that's put out there. But hey, we can't control what people do. At this moment, I just want, you know, us to stay focused. Let's not get derailed, because all of this, as far as I'm concerned, is measures to try to cause division. We don't even know if it's true yet.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. In fact, there are restrictions, whether people, you know about them or not. I just want to go through a couple of the technicalities that actually make this questionable. Yeah. Firstly, foreign investors or non-Gambians can only own up to 2,500 square meters, which is 50 by 50, yeah, in any one purchase of land, yeah?
Yeah.
And so that makes also the accusation quite dubious. Not to say that people can't break the law, because people do break the law all the time, but I'm just saying it's one of the things that we stick to. Yeah, and of course, not to say that you can't buy many portions of it, but I'm just saying in one transaction, that's the maximum that you can buy. Yeah. Secondly, you know, I feel that there's lots. I'm kind of, in a way, right? Although I'm sorry, mind my finger. I'm sorry. I'm going to have operations soon, so it'll be down soon, everybody. But and I said my finger, but I didn't put it on because I just showered. I couldn't drag it back up. But anyway, basically, I mean, age, right? You know, I want you to come in. Yeah, I want my lovely, adorable husband to come in, right? Because he always balances Julia out when I go like over the top. Because at first, when I read it, I'm not going to lie to you, I was reactive. Yeah, I was reactive. I didn't even question it. I was like, and I went off on a Juliet rant.
I think we all had that moment. You know, I had that moment too.
Take a step back, you know. So I've had my step back moment, and I did, you know, the right thing. I went and asked for evidence to support it. And then I also went to the government and I asked for public comments about it. And they were responsive, to be honest with you. They were very, very responsive. Okay. And I was upset. I was saying I was really upset because they were so responsive. Because I was like, I've had how many press conferences about automatic citizenship and you haven't answered me. So I had a little tantrum, as Juliet does. Anyone knows me. I go into tantrum mode because I was daddy's princess. So I was spoiled. And, you know, mummy's princess. So I was spoiled. And so Juliet still, even though I'm almost 50, has
Look at
standards.
Adrian's face. He's like,
So-
she's still spoiled.
Adrian's saying that's possible. She doesn't even give me a wedding edgeways, he's going to say, right? And so I was really glad that not only did they send a response, but I was honored with a telephone call late last night from spokesman, Ibrahima Sankara. Yeah, I mean, I'd already hit a very hard-hitting press release, regardless, so which I can't take back because it's out now. But he called me, thankfully, and we had a very, very interesting conversation. And I want to share some of this information with you because it is vitally crucial that you hear this, my BLAXIT family and my Bijou Noir family.
Yes, we listen.
Bijou Noir, we're together. Yeah, so Bijou Noir family, you know, thank you for joining us on the channel. I noticed some of you are here, so I want to thank you. I'll be coming back from Bijou Noir to discuss this as well. So someone said it's a distraction. I couldn't agree more because the conversation that we had was very interesting. I learned something new yesterday. I learned that the ex-president, who was Jawara Jarrow, who was in power for many years, wasn't it? Yeah, until a coup here by Yahya Jammeh. He's a late president now. And he was a lovely man by what I've been told. And he actually was one of the first presidents in Africa to give automatic citizenship. And I didn't know this. I did not know this. But because I had this conversation yesterday, you know, I was enlightened. And I've got to say, I love you, my Gambian family. I love you so much. I didn't know this. Yeah. He went to Abuja and he went to a conference. Yeah. And in this conference, there were 20 people who are Africans that are born in America. And he had a box with him. And he opened the box. And inside the box was 20 passports.
Woo!
And he gave them 20 Gambian passports. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. That's the thing. I can't imagine. Yes. I can imagine. Gambia is going to do it again. They've done it before. I have a good feeling about, you know, the Smiling Coast. There's more good coming out of there.
But I'm glad that this issue, if this issue didn't become a topical issue, I'm not going to lie to you, I would never know. I knew Alex Haley got citizenship, automatic citizenship in 1977. I know the Roots Festival and the Homecoming Festival. I know about the Roots Festival. Automatic citizenship during the Roots Festival up until 2014. And then it's kind of dropped off for a number of reasons. And I think because of new administration, you know, teething problems, you know, new system and everything coming in. And I understand that. And Adrian and I have, you know, sat with ministers and we've sat with a lot of Pan-African ministers, who have been very, very supportive. Halifa Saleh, Honorable Halifa Saleh, Honorable Essa Fall, you know, also the foreign minister, we know it was the interior minister. He was phenomenal. The interior minister, honestly, you know, Jar, the ambassador for the diaspora. But you go in, Adrian, I'll shut up.
Yes, as some people say in distraction, and they also open up a dialogue, a well-known dialogue that should be taking place between us African descendants coming home and also the government here. You know, that statement was alleged. There's no evidence to prove that he have actually said those words. You know, so right now we kind of throw the whole Gambian government under the bus because of one statement. But what to do, it open up the doors now for us to really sit down and have serious dialogues, you know, so that we could understand each other. And as I said, we need a global education.
Yeah,
We got to understand that we have to reintroduce what happened to us in the past through our system, through our school systems. You know, we got to bridge that gap. And the only how we're going to do it is re-educating ourselves. You know? And when we all look at this situation, you know, it's alleged, but it's inflammatory as well. And we as a people, especially coming from the West, we've been discriminated so much against. You know, that it's like we're walking on eggshells. You know, so the simplest thing could trigger a reaction. And this is what we want to bridge. You know, we want to get back a solid unity between the brothers and sisters here on the continent and the brothers and sisters in the diaspora. We have to get back that unity, you know? And these are distractions,
Period.
you know, and we have to look at what's happening now. This is history. We're now seeing people changing their lives. We're now seeing people packing up and leaving the West.
Yes.
You know, and we have seen this park. We have seen this park even since the death of George Floyd. You know, so at this moment, changes sometimes come with challenges.
Yes.
You know, changes sometimes come with challenges, but we got to keep pressing on. You know, it's not time for us to find our ways of dividing. I've read some of the comments that people comment. I'm not 100% sure it's Gambian saying it, you know, because, you know, on the internet, anybody could be a troll, they could say whatever. But from some of the comments that I've read, I see there's a wide need for education.
Exactly.
You know, I see we have to really educate ourselves. When we talk about land that was passed down from ancestors, we still have to go into history, the way our history is, because we can't sit there and say land being passed off our ancestral rights, cut off those of us that was taken. God, those of us that was taken, our foreparents have lost that entitlement for that land passing down anyway. So for even have the thinking in your head, it shows that you really need to be educated. Because we never live by choice. You understand? It's still a crime. Up until this day, it's still an unsolved crime that needs to be addressed. You know? Because when you look at we sitting here as a family, someone come and snatch your family away. Yeah? Take your family to some strange land, abuse them, do whatever they're doing to them. Don't you think that that person still have a right to any inheritance that being passed down? That's why we have to be very careful with this subject. You know, when they come on to talking about land grabbing and all that, we got to be very, very careful how we speak to those that was taken, because we are still entitled. The blood that running through our veins is the same blood that started here in Africa. You know, I know we're returning home, and we're returning home on our own. We're not coming back here asking for free land.
That's it.
We come back here, we purchase land, but we don't purchase as much land as the Lebanese. We don't even, I mean, look at Makasoti Forest. You know, how much we're talking about?
Yeah.
5,000?
If you go back to watching my video, yeah, Back to Your Roots, the making of the reality TV program, that was Makasuti Forest. That Makasuti Forest is over 5,000 square meters. That is humongous.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's owned by 2 white men. Is there one alive?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when people are talking about land grabbing,
That's
they're
your
certainly
land
not
grab.
talking about us.
That's it. That's your
Yeah. I
land
went to
grab.
Bonto. Exactly. I went to Bonto.
Mhm.
Yeah. And a couple of days ago, because I went to go and look at some land there.
Mhm.
And prime land along the river, 2,000 meters, yeah, of land owned by Lebanese. And the lady that owns it is actually in Lebanon, and she's selling it for $3 million US. Okay, so I know that this isn't for us, and it wasn't meant for us. And also, he mentioned Zimbabwe and South Africa. So when you mention Zimbabwe and South Africa, isn't it, Age?
Yeah,
it's not meant for us.
No.
They talk about colonialism.
So,
we're not the colonizers. So it wasn't aimed at us. And if he made that comment, sis, that wasn't aimed for us, but aimed for them, I actually agree with him.
If he's talking about,
I agree with him. So Minister Drummond and protecting Gambians.
If he's talking about
so
them,
Juliet,
I agree.
Basically what I was saying, we got to step up. We really got to step focus on what we are doing, because repatriation is a must.
My thing is, if he's talking about repatriation
is a must. And we got to stay focused. You know, because what we don't want to do is create a division.
Yes.
That's not going to happen. Yes, we got to stay focused. We got to realize that sometimes these challenges come, but it's how we deal with them is what counts. You know, because there's no way I should look at my brother as an enemy. You know, and we have to focus on that unity. That unity is strength. And sometimes unity comes with challenges. You see, we are one people, we are beautiful people. Unfortunately, we have been divided by no fault of our own. So now we're coming back together. Let's not think that the enemy gonna be happy seeing us coming back together. We're coming back together and coming back to Africa to build Africa. Africa is still a breadbasket for the West. It's not gonna be an easy ride. They're gonna use some of us to try and stop that from happening. Some of them might be among us today to try and make that distraction. Could you imagine what would happen if Africans from the Caribbean, Africans from America, Africans from the UK, Africans from different parts of Europe, if we come together and start singing the same tune? Yes. Brazil, West Papua. Imagine what would happen. Africa is the breadbasket for the world.
Absolutely.
The longer they could keep it divided, yeah, it will be the better they will keep their basket full. So is there? Yeah. Can everyone hear me? Because the stream is a bit unstable. Can you all hear me? Okay, yeah. So to my continental brothers and sisters, let's look at each other. Let's use each other as our mirror. You know, when I look into my brother's face, that reflection should be brotherhood. When my wife look into the sister's face, that reflection should be sisterhood. You know, don't let this be separated. They're going to use some of us to create distraction. We got to rise above it. And division. We got to rise above it. What is happening now is history in the making. What is happening now is wrongs being corrected. And this is what's happening here. Right? Let's not worry too much about land. You understand? Let's look at the unity. Let's focus on the positivity. Let's focus on that for a minute. You know, land is everywhere in the world. Africa is a big continent that could hold us all back. And there are many other governments that are going to welcome us back. And this is what we want to see happening. Everyone not going to come to Gambia. People are going to go to different places. Tanzania, you know, Sierra Leone, Ghana. People are going to go different places. You know, but the more the African governments open up, you know, and reach back out for us to come home, we will come home. You know, give us some inviting packages to come back to. You know, most of us don't mind which part in Africa we end up. As long as we're home and as long as we're welcome there. Because when you wake up in the morning, you're going to see your brothers and sisters. You understand? You know, and you don't mind. You don't feel that stress like when you wake up in Europe. So let's unite. Let's put our differences aside. Because I'm saying this constant dialogue we need to have. Yes. Constant dialogue to eradicate anything. And there's no need for our brothers and sisters here if we're threatened of us coming back. Because we're not coming back to take anything out of here. Because we certainly ain't going to send nothing back to the West. Yeah? Whatever is coming is inward investment.
Adrian, you know, the thing about it is, and it's something I want to say, I want to say this to my family in Africa, the brothers and sisters in Africa, wherever you are, be it Gambia, Ghana, Kenya, we're not coming home. Like Adrian said, we're not coming home for land. There's land in the Caribbeans. Most of us are from the Caribbeans. There's land in the United States. There's land everywhere. We're coming home to you. We're coming home to our family. We're coming home to be closer to our family, to understand where we came from. You know, you got this whole thing. I see people having discussions about land grabbing. We could go anywhere in the world. You know, we could go anywhere in this world. Most of us have the type of passports that could take us to the Caribbean, to Europe, to wherever. We're choosing to come home because we want to be with you. And if some of you are feeling discomfort and maybe, no, understand this. This is this right here is what our ancestors want on both sides. This is something that's been long coming. And I don't think anything could get in the way of that. I'm not even afraid. You see, I'm smiling because I see this as yet another movement forward. Like you said, now we could talk about citizenship. Now we could talk about ancestral rights. Because I know it is my birthright to be in Africa. So now that ancestral rights are being talked about, what about my ancestors? That's all I got to say. You see, I'm kind of excited, be it this was real or not real, or was said or not said. I'm happy that the discussion came up because now we could talk about our positioning. You know, it is an important thing. Ancestral rights is an important thing. So you have that, you know, when you go to Kunta Kinte Island, you see that forge right there where they used to hold ancestors that crossed the ocean that didn't get to come back. Well, it's us. Ancestral rights are a very important thing, and that's why I love. We want to go to Africa because for the first time this is where we belong. This is where our ancestors belong. And I'm happy that they pointed out ancestral rights is still important because that means that our ancestors have a say as well. And I just want to be seen as a citizen, you know, wherever I choose to go in Africa.
Yeah, I agree as well.
So what is also important as well, this is historical for us. You know, this is life-changing for us. I mean, we've been suppressed for how many years in the West? No, we're able, some of us, and it's a very small percentage of us, could really make this journey back to Africa.
Yeah.
Because it's not only a physical journey, it's also a financial journey, a spiritual journey.
Man,
many of us in the West is not in that position.
Yes.
To make this journey to return home.
Yes.
You know? So when you look at the vast amount of us in the West, how many of us can actually make that journey back home? You know? So what we want to do, we want to realize that let's stop the division. We have a right to return to our ancestral home. It's a fulfillment for us. It's not about land. It's that spirit, that calling back home is very important. And I mean, for some people, I mean, if you're continental African, right, you may not understand what it means to us coming back unless we really sit down and have dialogue so you understand. It's beyond land.
Yes.
It's beyond anything else. It's a journey. You know, when you're lost, it's like you're lost in space. You know? If you're a multimillionaire and you're lost, and you don't have no self-identity, because that's what we find ourselves. Because in the Caribbean, you still have a set of people in the Caribbean fighting, say they are the original people of the Caribbean. What they call them, the Garifunas. Then you still, when you go to Europe, the white man still fighting you. And now you come to Africa. Wow. So where do we go? Tell you what, let's get some space. Let's get some space shuttle.
Wait. Let me just say something.
Wait. Where do we go?
Hold tight, H. Yeah, let me just jump in here, right? I want to say something, and it's very, very important. Okay, very, very important. Firstly, right, the Alcalo of Busra, yeah, Alcalo Phi, the spiritual leader of the region, the Kajabi family, and the MP, let me just say this, I've got to say this, the National Assembly member, Lamin J. Sane, on Saturday, awarded me an integration certificate, integrating me into, and I'm just the first, Adrian and everybody's next, right? Integrating us into an African family, into an African village. And I have the certificate right there. I can go and get it and show you on the screen. And in fact, it's at the end of the last video that I just put up about the borehole. Not only did I get that, but for the first time in history, a person who was not born in Gambia was co-opted onto a VDC, which is a village district, committee. Okay, VDC, Development Committee. It's a Village Development Committee, VDC. Let me say it right, Village, I'm getting tongue-tied. Village Development Committee. And I was integrated, and I have a certificate of integration as Nyancho Kajabi.
I love that.
A sense of belonging. Why wasn't this on social media? No.
Not the positives.
People pick and choose. Why wasn't what he said about us being Gambians, about us being Africans, about us being welcome home, about us being the same people, about us being the same color? Why wasn't that on social media, fam?
I'm telling you.
That was all over the news. Why wasn't that put out on social media? People pick and choose, right, what they want to put out. And I'm also going to add to that. I support Honorable Musa Drame and what he said, because he's right. Right? No, he said that they need to save their ancestral land. That's what he said in the government statement that the government put out. Right. The government statement states, right, about colonizers in Zimbabwe and South Africa. And I agree with them, because I myself personally, I have seen European charities come here and own acres and acres of land, and I don't see what they're doing. So if that is the warning that he's sending out to the farmers to do things in the right way and not be fooled by white men coming in suits, then so be it.
100.
Because the warning that he put in that was about what's happened in Zimbabwe and what's happened in South Africa as colonizers. That's not us. So anyone else out there trying to cause division and distraction and misdirection and misinformation, let this be a warning to you. We are here working with our brothers and sisters, and we feel love from our brothers and sisters. And indeed, that member of the National Assembly on Saturday made it very clear that Ghana had the right idea and that there needs to be a Pan-Africanist agenda as a high priority here in the Gambia. He told me. So therefore, let's focus on the positives.
I agree.
This is our birthright, and no one's ever denied us our birthright. I have been integrated, so if the proof is in the pudding, there you go. I am proof that we are wanted and loved here in the Gambia. All right? So I just wanted to say that.
Yes.
Yeah, we are welcomed home in the Gambia. The Gambia is a small country. It might not have the same budget as Ghana to roll out the big things, but it has before in the past. And I told you, it's going through a transitionary period. But we have been invited to go and meet with the Vice President in the State House. So there has been a positive response from all this. And yes, we are going.
Yes.
And we've also been invited onto the presidential tour. So look at the positive outcomes from this BLAXIT family. Yeah, we are, on the same road as you, regardless if we're here and we're a little bit further down the road, but we all on the same road.
You're leading and we're following. Don't worry. We're right behind you.
Yes, my beautiful African family. Let's don't create no division, Let's stay focused. Let's stay positive. Great things is happening when we unite.
Yes.
Great things is happening for us now. It's a turning point.
Can't stop what's about to happen. It's about to happen.
This unification. Yeah, this unification is a must. It's beautiful in the making. Some of us still carry Marcus Garvey spirit.
Totally.
It's in us. So let's just work together. Gambians, we love you. We are you. You are us.
Period. We're coming home.
How could we hate ourselves? It's not logical at all. How could we look in another black man's face and call him a foreigner? It don't make no sense. Who have caused this division? How no one talking about who caused this division? They leave us here to still divide among ourselves.
That's why I'm always.
They cause this division.
Yes.
And they're certainly not doing anything to solve it. Because they know if they try to solve it, it would be doomsday for them. This is a bread basket. Africans wake up, look at each other with one love.
Come home.
Wake up.
Come home.
Don't, as Bob Marley said, don't let them fool you.
Oh no.
Or even try to school you. Yes. It looks like they're freezing up, guys. I don't know if you could hear me, but I'm just gonna echo everything they said. Period. We're going home.
Okay. So we got work to do. We got work to do on ourselves. When we're coming back here to work with you. I mean, as I say, they're sending people in that look like us to create divisions. We got to ignore them and we got to move on. And we that come in here, we too have a right to go within the villages, sit and speak with the villagers. That's where they take us from. We're not coming back here to act like tourists. We're not coming back here to act like no tourists. We're not coming back here to separate ourselves from our own brothers and sisters. If you're coming back here with that attitude that you don't think you could come in the village and sit down with the elders and the brothers and sisters in the village, stay where you are. If you're going to come here to disrespect the brothers and sisters on the continent, stay where you are.
Turn out your yard.
Stay there.
Turn out your yard.
Don't come here with it. And it's about time that we unify so people know they cannot come here with no hidden agenda. We work, me and Juliet, we work in the community. And many more diasporans that not on YouTube work in the community too. So don't get distracted by some of the things you might see on social media. Other people here working on the ground and working hard for the unity and doing good progress here together. But remember, if you're coming back to Africa, start get an Afrocentric mindset. You cannot bring the Western lifestyle in Africa. It don't work. We don't want it here. Respect the people when you come to the continent. Have some respect for them. All of our journey being hard. Colonization has damaged all of us. We must respect each other. Let's stop this them and us. It's just us. And only us gotta save us. No point in time in history have any other race come and step up to try and save us as a people. We are the ones that always been fighting. Reggae artists in Jamaica have made so much songs preaching about the unity. We always been fighting. From England, we've been fighting for Africa. In America, we've been fighting for Africa. Let's unite. Let's keep it black positive. Nothing gonna stop us. As Marcus Garvey said, when we're ready to come together, nothing gonna stop us again. This is a grand reunion in the making. Forget about all this land grabbing nonsense. Look at the historical, look at the bigger picture. Africa could hold every black person out there in the diaspora. But you got millions of us in the Caribbean. The millions not gonna come back to Africa. Millions in Brazil. But what we could start do is working together. As someone put, having direct flights from the Caribbean to Africa. And I think there have been direct flights from Jamaica to Nigeria, is it? I'm not 100% sure. But the move that we get, let's cut out the middleman. Because the middleman is our enemy. Let's link. It doesn't matter where we are, let's link. Have that unity, have that link. Because the Caribbean beautiful, same way. People not gonna leave and come to Africa, not all the time. They will stay in the Caribbean still, but we could unite. Let's trade in with each other from the Caribbean, trade with Africa. Unity is strength. There's no strength in division. There's no strength. Because over the years, Africa been looted and polluted. You understand? We're not coming here to loot and pollute Africa. We're coming back home to be with our brothers and sisters and bringing inward investment. Some of us still have investments in the West that we're going to divest to move here. We are the only people that are going to come back and keep the money here in Africa. Where are we going to send it back to? We're going to send it back to Europe? We're going to send it back to America where we're running from? No. Let's see this as a bonding. Let's see this as a building. Let's forget the little isms and schisms, the little jealousy, the little foolishness. Let's come back together because our investments is here for the African people. And when we come back, we got to patronize the black African shops. We got to patronize them. We got to build them. You know? And sometimes we end up going to other shops to get certain things where we might not could get. But we coming back. If we work together, we could create miracles. If we work together, we could have factories with African products. Let's look at the bigger picture. Stop the silly division over land. People more important than land. Let's look at what we could create together. Let's look at what we could do together. We have tons and tons of unwanted goods coming from China here. You know, they don't even last long. They're just giving Africa a problem, a recycling problem, because some of the goods is no good. We need to create our own factories that produce African goods.
Absolutely.
We can do it. But the only how we're going to do it, we have to change our mindset. Wealth is built from mindset. Understand, we have to change it. Africa have everything that they use to create their world. Their mobile phones, everything, they come to Africa and take it away. And what we're going to be doing? Sitting there fighting among each other? Oh, you're a land grabber? Are we fools? We're not fools. Unite! It better your own African brother have that land than the strangers, because they're using that land to send back millions. Let's start control our own market. We could do it together. We could do it together. Only together we're going to do this. Looking at me as a stranger don't make no sense. We are one. We are one people. Let's realize and let's work together. Let's work together. Let's build factories. Let's start producing our own goods. You know? Let's do that. Because the funny thing, they're coming here, they're taking the resources, they're going back, they manufacture it and sell it back to you in packages.
Exactly.
And they come here and get it for more or less nothing. I went to my local carpenter. This is a carpenter that make my furniture, my beds, my clothes, cupboards. And I went to him because I need to make some more wardrobes for the bedroom. And he said to me, Adrian, we are struggling getting wood here to make our furniture. I said, so why are you struggling? He said, because the Chinese buying up all the wood and sending it out of the country. And they know the local Gambians is struggling. Somebody at the gate.
Okay. So Adrian's just gone to answer the game. What I was about to say is, I think one thing that we've taken from this, and one thing that has happened has been we've got to respect the government's responsiveness. Yeah, we have to respect that. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why. When I was in England and I had an issue over racism, and you know, I went to my local MP. He basically tried to deflect. He didn't, you know, respond to the situation, didn't respond to the issue, and basically disrespected me. Disrespected me. And I didn't feel that here. I must confess, I've complained saying that, you know, they've been slow on the uptake and what have you, but at least they've responded.
There's been some response.
And stop the rumor mills. I'm going to add in some people who have been waiting patiently. So Hannah Z Africa, I'm going to add you to the stream. I'm hoping that it's going to be stable, okay? So please make your comment. I'm going to mute myself.
Hi guys, how are you guys? Julia and I don't know your name. I'm sorry?
We're queens, we're not guys. We're not guys. This
Okay,
whole YouTube thing about guys, you're trying to transsexualize us into men. Yeah, and we're not guys either. We don't get born on November the 5th.
I need to start with the Western language. You're so right. You know what? We need to have one language that we can speak with each other that is African descent or African language. So I think that is something we should also think about. But I just want to come here and say I'm from Ethiopia. I was born and raised in Ethiopia, but I currently live in Dallas, Texas. But I just wanted to make a comment about the whole land grabbing situation. People that are thinking African Americans or European Africans that are coming back home. I honestly, I'm trying to understand how one person go back there and you buy a land. How is that grabbing a land in any way? But my thing is, how come, like, as an African, I want to ask my African brothers and sisters that were born there that are saying, like, you guys are, you queens are grabbing a land. I want to ask, How come we didn't have this energy when the Chinese, when the whites, the Westerns are coming and like they're buying land? They, by the way, the Arabs too, they're buying land for cheap, and they're labor, they cheap labor, they hire our people, but they pay them really low money. And so my question is, how come we didn't really think about or have this energy towards them? How come we're having this energy towards me? I don't see you guys as different as we, because I believe we're the same. You guys were just here earlier than us. Now we're here too. A lot of Africans are everywhere in America and Europe that are, you know, doing the same thing that they were doing to us. So I wanted to make that comment. But I don't think we should waste our energy on this, because I do believe we have been programmed to be divided to the max. I think this was like, especially dividing us, was they worked on this very, very hard, and it was successful, but it will not be successful after now, because we're waking up. Personally, I am so happy you guys are back, like are planning to go back or are back home. So please do not, like, this negativity, don't even look at it, and just do what you're doing. I'm really happy you guys are doing this.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Basically, I'd like to respond. Firstly, I think it's the big elephant in the room that needed to be discussed anyway. So I'm glad in one sense that the subject was raised, because it gave us the opportunity to have a long conversation with a spokesman from the government, and, you know, to be educated in so many ways about elements of Pan-Africanism that I didn't even know about, that existed here in the Gambia. And so it makes me feel very proud to be a Gambian resident and to be a Gambian citizen of Bussorah. And so that's really important. And secondly, I saw, you know, someone say, oh, you know, do your homework or something. And I put them in timeout about Chinese don't own land here. Actually, they do. And so do other nations as well. And I don't even need to ask, because I see it in my face. So the point I want to make is this, is that we need to come together with our African brothers and sisters on the continent to ensure that we preserve lands for Africans, home and abroad. Home and abroad. Not only just land, but it's time for us to preserve our culture, our land.
Exactly. You took that out of my mouth.
It's time for us to preserve our ancient way of life. And so I think land is very much a misnomer, but it's an opener. It's like one of the causation issues here in a great chain of causation, because within that chain of causation also is our sense of belonging, and also what is happening about our citizenship. That is another issue that needs to be discussed. The dialogue has not been had yet. The public comment, you know, by Ibrahima Sankara hasn't been had yet, or by the government. And to much a degree, because of political meandering, it hasn't been dealt with as effectively as it could have been. So in one sense, we have to look at things in a way that is balanced, and this has to be addressed, whether we like it or whether we don't like it. The other day, we were talking about what was happening in Zimbabwe with white farmers receiving compensation, and we were all up in arms about it. Yeah. And now the African government is saying, we don't want this to happen. You know, the Gambian government is saying, we don't want this to happen here. And rightfully so. Whether someone goes into social media to whip up a frenzy about it, whether it's true or not, makes no difference to me. The conversation needed to be had, because what's happened to our ancestors' land is still a question that needs to be answered. What actually happened to us? What about our reparations from both the African side and also the European side and all the other enslavers from around the world. You know, what has happened to that? Because remember, Ghana awarded 5,000 acres of land to African descendants. They did the big welcome. And remember that Gambia, in fact, around the time of Nkrumah, was a Pan-Africanist nation from 1965 also, but it wasn't told. You've got to remember, automatic citizenship also was given to Alex Haley from Roots. So let's not be misguided. Let's not be misguided. Let's be enlightened.
I agree.
Let's be united.
I agree.
Let's be united. So it's a subject that has to be discussed.
Definitely.
But sis, I've got so many other people waiting to come through, and I know you've waited a while.
No problem.
So I'm going to thank you for your contribution and say hi to your gorgeous children.
Okay.
And, you know,
good luck with everything.
Yeah, thank you so much, and I'll keep you all informed.
Nice to meet you.
I'm going to invite Joe to join us while the stream is stable, right? So Joe, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. You got myself and Gina here.
Oh,
Joe's dropped off.
yeah.
Gina, we'll bring someone else in. So we've got Steve Mastermind. Steve Mastermind, would you like to come in? I'm sure he's been on this show before, actually. His face looks familiar.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I just wanted to say it was a great job. It was really good seeing the video, where you and your husband were on local TV, and the whole borehole project. I was like, that's finally, right? Like, I know there are a lot of people doing a lot of things. There are a lot of people doing a lot of things that, of course, I don't know about. But it was just good for me to see somebody actually getting something done. I mean, it's just a great thing, right? So I just wanted to congratulate yourself and Adrian on getting that done. And I'm sure that's not the last project that you're going to be working on.
No, we're working on 2 other projects as well. That's why Juliet's got bags underneath her eyes. I'm working night and day. I'm working on the Plight of a Nation project, which is this book by this wonderful author here, Benjamin A. Roberts, who I'll be interviewing on Sunday. So there's a series of programs that you're going to be seeing from Gambian authors. I started with Cornelius A. Gomez. You'll be seeing that. You'll be also seeing, oh gosh, let me get his name right before I get his name wrong, so I don't want to get his name wrong. Here he is, Sanku Kamara, who is another great author. I'll be interviewing him on Sunday. And also the manuscript man from the Manuscripts Limited, who came all the way from Dubai, but he's actually from, Juliet's gonna forget. Oh, come on, Juliet. He's from right near Mauritania. Aha.
There you go.
And he has over 20,000 manuscripts. So yeah, that's like an amazing feat. So you'll be seeing, and I had to use his name is Abdullah, and his company is Abdullah Mohammed Bilal, and he's the director of the House of Manuscripts, both African and Arab, and he is a wealth of information, and I'm hoping to have him back. But we will be going to Mauritania to see his manuscripts and to learn a lot about the Mali Empire. He's an expert on the Mali Empire, which of course was here before. So that's really exciting. So these are just a few things that are in the pipeline. So that is our Black Book project, which is to get more Black books in African schools. So we're starting here in the Gambia, and we're starting with Busra. We've already started to give books to the school already. So that's really okay.
Hey, Adrian, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, you know.
I'm just trying to send a link.
So I was just telling Juliet, I was just congratulating you guys. You know, seeing the video with you guys on local TV there. Man, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be happier. You know, just seeing somebody. I think the last time I came out, I was talking about getting some wins, right? Like we need small wins. Any win, right? Anything completed, any projects completed that can be show improve. That's what it's all about, and that's what you guys are doing. You know, that's why I'm so excited. So, any support that you need, you know, I'm always here to support. I didn't know about this project and the whole GoFundMe. I don't know how that missed me. But I didn't know anything about it, so I didn't get a chance.
There's still tickets left. There's 80 tickets left. I'm talking over you because I want you to know. There's 80 tickets left for the land raffle. I want to do this land raffle. I put out for 500 tickets. Yeah. Once we hit 500, we're going to do the draw, and someone is going to win, you know, a 20 by 20 piece of land in Bussorah. I have the land document right there.
How do I get the raffle? How do I get the ticket?
Oh, you just send a payment via PayPal. The tickets are £25. I don't know what the rate is per dollar, but it was about $33 last time. And that's for one ticket. If you buy like $100 of tickets, you get 6 tickets. If you buy 75, you get 4 tickets. So we kind of increase it according to the amount.
I'm going to buy a few tickets. I'm just going to need you and Adrian to tell people to stay off my land until I win.
I bought some tickets too, sir. I'm sorry. You got the tickets, but I'm winning.
I'm going to do the PayPal.
Okay. As long as I'm invited over for the barbecue when I come over, I'm okay.
Okay.
There's still land available in Bussorah. Okay. So there's still land available in Bussorah, and this was bequeathed to us by the families there, the Kujabi family and the Sane family, especially for us. So they've completely reduced the price on the land for us, which is really, really sweet. So there's a few plots left, but it's like you can't really get land for that price. But I'm so pleased that we were able to do it and to support the village in many different ways. And we're also going to be doing a fence around the school, our basic Bussorah school, because there's not a fence. So it's quite dangerous for the children. So we're going to be doing a fencing project there. And also we're still doing the Nemakunku flood disaster appeal, flood prevention initiatives, which we're working on now. With the we've just literally got the MOU a couple of weeks ago, isn't it? From the National Disaster Management Agency. We were supposed to meet with them, but there was a death in their team, so it didn't go ahead this week. So we're hoping to meet with them next week. Is it Monday? Yeah. And so, you know, we're always on it, and so we're hoping they're just building the stand for the water, and then the pipes will go out for the borehole. And so it's exciting, and the books are exciting.
It's and here's why it's important. It's important because there are a lot of people that will give money and resources to a lot of projects. The problem is that we don't have anybody there on the ground that's looking after these projects. We can't run the projects from here.
Exactly.
Right? We can't. Excuse me, Adrian?
Yeah, you have called now on the ground.
Yeah.
You've got the Council of African Descendants. Which is a charity registered here. Yeah.
We are legally registered in the
charity now. So with an executive board and everything.
So me and my business partner. So I'm an engineer, but you know, and I'm a technology strategist, and a consultant. And I have my business partner. I have a business partner. We have a social. We have a.
But do you have our number?
Excuse me.
Do you have our telephone number?
No, I do not. Unfortunately, I do not. I'll send my number through, but what we've done in the last couple of years, we have a nonprofit where for free, we help aspiring entrepreneurs, Black entrepreneurs here locally where we are, and we do that for free. We spend our own money to do that. Now, since this whole COVID thing that has come up, we're now going digital. So we're taking our platform digital. So if anyone wants free business consultation, we have a lot of resources. We got marketing resources. We got engineering resources.
Tell me your website so I can put it on the screen. I want free business advice. for
This
everybody
is
coming back to Africa.
awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to put it in my new marketing pack.
Right. So we know marketeers, we know everybody. So we're using our resources to help, you know, Black people who want to start business or business owners who want to grow or have a business need or problem or a roadblock. So we're helping them, and up until now it's free. We're building our website now so that we can support everyone, and it's masterminder.com, as you see. So we're working on the website. It's up, but it should be finalized in the next couple of weeks. And
okay, well, just send it to me.
Excuse me?
Send it to me via blaxithome@gmail.com. That's blaxithome, BLAXIT @gmail.com. And Gina is almondblossom.go@gmail.com. So it's blaxithome@gmail.com. And beautiful almond blossom. No, it doesn't say beautiful, but it says almond blossom.
Almond blossom.
.go@gmail.com. So send it to either myself or Gina, and we'll get it.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. So anything, like I said, I'll go get the I'll go look and get the raffle tickets and
Yes.
you know, whatever else you guys are doing. But it's really important because you guys are there on the ground, and that's the one thing that's missing. There's been so many scams, Julia, that people are really reluctant to give money unless they are sure that the project is going to go through. And that's just in the community. You know, even for, you know, small philanthropists now want to do stuff in Africa, Black people, but we're not there. So we don't know where to go to make sure that a project is run correctly, right?
Yeah.
And the right sources are there. And she said, Julia's shaking her head. She knows that people are ready, but we just don't have the structure on the ground that we trust that we can send the money to. That's what's holding us back. And that's why it's important what you and Adrian are doing.
Well, the thing is that I think you're fortunate in that I have quite a long experience like yourself in the UK. I was a business development manager. I was a CEO. I was a project manager for almost 20 something years. I'm going to give my age away. Oh, I think I already did on the show anyway. But anyway, for nearly 28 years. And so I worked in the public sector, private sector, also supported multiple programs to success. And so, you know, and I've also been a philanthropist for many years and also helped homeless people and so on. So, and I think it's important to give back. I think it's really important, but integrity and honesty is important. And sometimes I get, you know, I face a barrage of complaints, sometimes because I'm a little bit blunt. And I'll say to people, that's not a really good idea. Don't do this. And then they go ahead and do it. And then, you know, when it doesn't work out for them because they're not listening to you, because, you know, sometimes when you have experience, as you are an engineer, I could never give you experience about engineering because I have a clue. So I have to rely on your advice and your experience to guide me. And so, you know, if we do this, and, you know, there's a problem with trust in our community, full stop, you know, and this, you know, problem with trust has come from slavery.
Yes.
When we were divided, when they pitched strong against weak, light against dark, house person to outside person, yeah,
right.
You know, and pitched us with height, tall with short, complexion issues, financial issues. There were people that bought their freedom, other people that couldn't afford to, you know, people whose children were owned and taken from birth. So, you know, of course, we're going to have trust issues, and it's going to take a long while for us to heal those trust issues. But, you know, if we can work for those white institutions and make money for those white institutions and run those white institutions and make them successful, why can't we do this for our own?
We don't have I don't think it's going to take a long time. And to build trust, you know, trust is built on action, right? It's what
Yes.
you do that people trust. And as long as you can continue to do what you're doing, then people will trust you, as long as you build a track record. And technology helps in that regard. So let's say you were doing this borehole project and you were raising money, and you had an app. And on that app, anybody who gave money was immediately a project sponsor or a project stakeholder, right? Where they would get all the notifications of all the milestones that were reached. They would know, they would have the very simple project plan with the milestones, and every time a milestone is reached, further funds would be distributed, right? Like this could be automatic, so that they can see that no more money is going in until a milestone is reached. And then if decisions need to be made, like there were some unforeseen expenses, then the people who have already given money can vote and say, hey, are we going to open it back up for more, or are we ourselves going to put more money in to do this? See, now we have a stake in it, right? We're stakeholders. We're and those kind of things help build trust because the transparency is there, right?
I agree, actually. I agree. And I think if at the beginning we had the money to develop an app, that would be great. But the money for the app is probably going to break into the budget for the borehole.
Julie,
if someone wants to volunteer,
that's another project.
App for us,
the money will be there.
More than grateful.
The money is there already. It just depends on what it is you want to do. We can help you.
I thought apps were really expensive, so maybe I'm mistaken, because the last time we looked at doing a BLAXIT app, which is for repatriation, the quote I got wasn't cheap. So it kind of was a little bit off-putting for me in terms of, moving that forward. So I just opted for a basic website, which is being developed now, as opposed to the app. But maybe I was misguided, and maybe it's a lot cheaper.
You're not misguided. You just needed the hookup. Now you got the hookup.
You got the hookup. Don't you get it? You got the hookup.
BLAXIT@gmail.com. You got the hookup.
You got the hookup.
And
my brother, thank you, Team BLAXIT. Do it. Yes, I'm excited.
We love this.
Yes, absolutely. So if and I'll make time for someone else to come in. I just wanted to say good job to the both of you. I'll be in touch. I will buy my ticket, my raffle ticket, and I will send you guys emails on what we're doing.
They're being printed, yeah. Because you know what, you're going to really kick me for this. I tried to use a ticket random picker app, right? And I sat there, putting names in manually on my phone. And I didn't realize I forgot to put the switch on, under the charger. And then I was doing it because, it was late, I didn't even click that the battery was going, because I was so busy, looking at names, pointing, and then when I went, the bloody battery went, and I lost all my intake. So I've gone back to good old pen and paper, and I'm having the tickets printed, and I'm going to write every single one with everybody's name and email, and I'm going to have the Al Carlo pick them. And I think I'm old school, so I really need your help to get me up to speed and speed.
Yeah, but the trust issue, there is a trust issue, but I'm a bit more optimistic. I don't think it's going to take that long, right? They just need to see, everybody needs to see an organized effort with some results. And once you see the results, people jump on, right?
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait for the results, actually, with the borehole. We're going to have a party. I always love a party. So,
when is it going to be completed?
Successful. I just look forward to the party.
when is it supposed to be completed? The borehole.
Well, we're hoping. Let me keep fingers crossed, because obviously this is Gambia and things take time. But I'm hoping within the next 8 weeks everything will be done. Yeah.
Oh, great.
So it's the final count. Well, we've got running water. So the drilling's been done. That's completed and done. So now it's the tower with the water going up, and then it will be the laying of pipes and the digging of pipes to all of the satellites throughout the village. That's what's going to take the time. But, you know, the VDC, I should say, no, us in the VDC now, are working towards, you know, a work plan. So we have volunteers in the village digging every day. So we're hoping that that will help us. So we're giving ourselves 3 months, yeah, which is, you know, quite a long time, really, a very long time. But because it's not just one outpipe, it's many satellites. So it's going to take time. And so I know with people digging manually, it's not a machine. So it's going to take time. But I'm excited. I'm excited. As for the school fence, we haven't started that yet. We want to finish this one. And as for Nemakunku, we already started with the relief fund. And we already started with the distribution of food and clothing and other essential items and support. So we've already started that, and we're already looking at how we can provide emergency and medical care to the village also. So that's already like a project that's ongoing, and we have to consult with the National Disaster Management Agency, also the VDC in the area, also the community group in the area, and also with Code and BLAXIT together, plus the individuals that live in the village. So it's you know, a consensus with regard to what we're going to do in terms of, is the money going to be spent on civil engineering reports, how we can try and divert the water as a temporary measure? Is it going to be more of a long-term thing? So is there going to be looking at, are we going to buy sandbags and so on? You know, it was a temporary measure to protect people's compounds. Is there a way of building? So we're hoping to get good advice on this. So, you know, we would also like your advice on the civil engineering aspect of it, because of where the water is coming down through, because obviously it wasn't supposed to be an area that was lived in, but of course people have settled there. So now we have to find ways to work around it. So ideas are always welcome from anybody that can help us. We would really appreciate it, because I never want to see that again, you know, happen again to anybody. And I know there have been floods all around the world, including Jamaica, and I've been liaising with people in Jamaica as well. So it's this unusual weather that we're having, you know. I know I harp on about it. But,
absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah, no pun intended, huh, Julian?
No, not at all. But, you know, I'm always open to any questions or anything. I'm always available. So please, you know, once you email me, I'll give you my telephone number, and then you can call me. When I say I'm always available, except for when I'm filming and when I'm doing interviews, when I'm in meetings, when I'm in the bathroom, when I'm sleeping, yeah, or when I'm doing quality time with Kath, yeah, and my husband on weekends. So yeah, you know, other than that, in between times, I am free and I do respond to calls and WhatsApps. And if there's a wait, don't worry, I'll get to you. It just takes me time sometimes.
Oh, listen, I know you're very busy. Everybody knows you're busy. Right? So, no problem. No problem.
All right, thank you, though.
Hey, no problem.
You
you ladies have a good evening. Tell Adrian I said.
Thank you.
Oh, we will. Thank you so much, Steve. Thanks for joining us again. Appreciate your help. Ooh, that was good, wasn't it?
Oh my God, this one right here. You see, this is what I say about, you see, you're having this discussion and then the ancestors are still bringing people in to show you, look, I got you. This is somebody that's going to put one more measure towards, you know, us, you know, being able to get closer to doing what needs to be done. Do it. Get it. You better get that email address.
So we've got Joe. I'm hoping that we can try and get Usman on as well. I'm going to try and see if I can, if Usman Toure, if you can just send me the link to your email, yeah, in the comment section, then I will send you the link, okay? So I'm just saying that, Usman Toure. So Joe, how are you?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah,
Nice talking to you.
like a good evening.
Yeah. I want to say that I'm very happy that I have the opportunity to talk to you. over a long period of time. I've been following you on YouTube. I've seen what you've been doing. So, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So, I've seen your work in the. I'm a Nigerian, but I live in the United States. So, I've been following what you've been doing, and very impressive, and really seen it. You know. But like, in relation to the topic you're talking about today about the land and how people are grabbing land and all of that, I have to say that a lot of people saw this coming because the kind of vibes that have been coming out of Gambia leaves a lot of Africans are not happy about it. When people will come out there and badmouth the country, talk down on the people and all of that, anybody that says that they never saw this coming is not being realistic, because there's nowhere in this world that people will go to a country, disrespect the people the way they're doing over there, and then they feel that the people are not going to react or not going to feel some kind of way.
There's something in your background that's making an awful noise. Can you stop
Oh,
it?
I don't know. I don't
Like
know what's
chopping
going
noise.
on. You can't hear me?
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
weird.
not.
It's going in and yeah, it's like
It's going
Is
in
it
and out.
better?
sounds like a clock or something. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know. The computer is kind of, I don't know what's going on.
One
But
sec, Joe. Try and see what the noise is and then come back to me.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mr. Torre.
Osman.
Think maybe he's on mute.
Yeah, you are on mute. Hang on one sec. Let's unmute you. You got to unmute yourself.
Is with that now. I've been trying a lot to be in, so it wasn't easy anyway. So I just guess everyone is doing good, and the topic today is very, very interesting, and that is why I have to do my best to be in. As I told you a few hours ago that I'm set to travel tomorrow, so it's a lot of job, but I think this topic worth it in a sense that we have individuals, whether today it has also appeared in the media that the individual that is said to have said or made this statement actually says it is false and it doesn't come from him. But nonetheless, it is a comment that is outside there, and it is enough that we put time to discuss about this issue. Because whether it is said today, whether it has been or not, these are comments that may likely come from individuals within this continent. And I think the most important thing that we need to do is making sure that we know who are we dealing with, and we are dealing with a system put in place by whites, a system put in place by opportunists whose objective is division, making sure that we do not connect to one another again, making sure that we have elements among ourselves that even make this connection very, very difficult. Individuals coming into the Gambia, for instance, our country today should have been organized in a way that we have free land to offer individuals coming from the diaspora to say, you need to come in and connect with your brothers and sisters. That is how we can build unity among ourselves. So, institutions have not been put in place to do this, legislations have not been put in place to make facilitate this, and now having few group of individuals to ridicule this whole idea. If we want to talk about exploiters in this country, I think we have people to point our fingers to, and that is the Chinese. The Indians today, as we speak, are buying land in the Kanifing industrial area. How can an industrial area, land of an industrial area, be bought by outsiders? That is the fundamental question. These people have no intention of staying in this country. They have no intention of dying in this country. They have no intention of inputting their families in this country. Their intention is to loot our resources, put a channel that will take all the money back to their countries. I think There are so many things that we need to sit down today and talk about. So many important issues. And that is understanding what we get in connecting with our brothers and sisters. Today was my first day to visit the project in Busura. Imagine when I was going there, I could see the struggle that young individuals were going through to draw water from local pumps using their own energy. I can see, imagine what Mr. Five, for instance, was telling us that his family will spend hours just to get water. Now you have a group of individuals who could have come to the Gambia, enjoy their holiday, and go back to wherever they want to be. But they said, no, this is where we belong. And we have to contribute to the society. Whether people are in the Gambia or not, you even have diasporians who have never set foot on the Gambia, but still they are doing their contribution. Why are they contributing? Because they believe they have a family in this country, because they believe that they have a people that they can relate to, because they believe that they need to take part in solving the societal realities. So if you do not appreciate such projects, if you do not appreciate such people, what do you do? With few opportunists standing out there influencing a lot of things in our governments and etc. And lastly, before I go, I just want to give this signal to every African youth out there that it is important for youths of this continent to get to be aware of the realities and what have been going on. It was J.J. Rollins who said, Africans have not liberated themselves from the people who succeeded from the whites, and that is our own governments. We can't be slaves in our continent. And youths have to take up responsibility. First, let it start with knowledge. Read any book that equips you with spirit, with dignity, with respect. Interact with any individual that is going to shape you into a right pattern. And then let us explore what we have in the continent. Today you have the Africa Free Continental Trade, for instance. Just few or about a week or so, I attended this particular conference in which there were key stakeholders in Africa, including presidents. And this was my fundamental question to them. What is there in African states to make the diasporians to be able to invest in the continent, considering the fact that they have difficulties in acquiring citizenship? How can you call on people to come and invest when you ban them from becoming citizens, when you make it difficult for them to acquire citizenship? How can you invest millions in a country where you need a visa to go to? That doesn't make sense. Investors are not mad. So there are so many things that we need to do in order for us to determine our destiny, in order for us to reshape Africa as a continent. And that starts with us. Gambians, for instance, I am taught by my culture that if I have a stranger, I don't have to be sleeping on my bed. I have to give the stranger to sleep on the bed and let me sleep in the floor. That is what the culture tells me. So what is that system that is rejecting part of us? Because whether we know it or not, people in the diaspora are a part of us. Individuals were taken out of this continent with force, out of their will, in exchange with things that were meaningless to the people. Gambians, Senegalese, everywhere within the African continent were forced to leave this continent in tragic ways, and they were taking the resourceful men and women of this continent. And someone just said, as I was going through the comment, which is very, very true, all the people that were taken from this continent were saying that they're going to return. And it does not necessarily mean that they were physically going to return, but it was you that they were talking about. It was you today, Juliet, that we were talking about. That people will return and that time will come. And this is the time. And we can't afford to lose it. It's either our governments work with us in achieving this goal, or we have to take up our cross and go back to where we came from. Our cultures here doesn't reject you. They taught us to embrace you. They taught us to recognize you. And those are the things that we can't afford to lose. We will do our best. If it is said by an authority, if it's said by a leader or whatsoever, we will make sure that they hear our voices. We will make sure that whatever is necessary for them to see that we are upset about these comments, we are not happy about the comments, and we do not expect it either from them. They should be thinking about making legislations. They should be thinking about building institutions that will facilitate individuals everywhere within the diaspora to come back to Africa and settle. Some African countries are already doing this. The likes of Rwanda, we have seen the results. The like of Ghana, we have seen the results. So what is keeping certain African countries to do this? Oh, most of them rely purposely on small grants, paper money given to them by outsiders to make these things difficult. You go and ask, you have a Chinese involved, you have an Indian involved, you have a European involved, you have an American involved, you have an Arab involved. What for? This continent deserves better, and it is only us that can make it better. It's high time that we give that welcoming hand to every individual coming into the continent to integrate with individuals, and then we work things together. So thank you so much for having me, Juliet, and my regards to everyone in the BLAXIT family. Thank you. And that is
We love you, Osmond. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. And thank you. I'm so happy I picked the smiling coast of Gambia. Look at this beautiful, beautiful brother that's coming out of the Gambia. That's why I say I know there's more brothers and sisters in the Gambia. You know, when I hear Mr. Mr. Torre, I can't call you Osmond no more. That spirit you have is an adult spirit, is an ancient spirit. I have to give you your props. I have to call you Mr. Torre. When Mr. Torre speaks about how, we are coming back home, we are the same people that said we would return one day. Yes. Yes. That's why I say, when you hear the negatives, you can't just think that is true, because there are more people that have open arms, waiting for us to come back home. Just come back there and understand that you're going home to family. Do it with respect, with appreciation. And like I always say, remember, they kept the roof up for us. So it's time for us to now work together to build this house, that we're going to be building together. I'm happy. Thank you so much. Every word was a
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, brother, wait 1 second. I know you got to travel, yeah, but I got to say something. I got to say thank you, yeah. You was on point, yeah,
Thank you.
on point. I couldn't say it better myself, and that's why I love, Usman being on the show. And I know you got getting support, yeah, but BLAXIT family, let's still support Usman, please.
Yes.
Yeah, he's going to Rwanda, yeah. And every penny, if you want to send it via PayPal, just put Usman and he will get it. Okay? Usman, everything that's yours, you get, right? So
Thank
just let
you.
everybody know. Yeah?
Yeah, thank
And
you.
yeah, so please, everybody, we want to support Usman throughout his masters. You know, I see myself almost like a mummy in the sense that, Osman is a welcome addition to my existing family and my beautiful children. He's like another beautiful son. So I want you to say, I just want to say to you that, your words, they resonate. Your words stipulate and answer all the questions, and also can relate back to why we need to be home, why we need to support the future generation of youth coming home, why we need to get behind you and support you and provide a circle of protection around you, because people like you, young men like you, like Tony Mendy and so on, right, are people that are the promise of tomorrow. And I know I keep saying it. And every time he comes, I say, hello, promise of tomorrow. And he looks at me like, and all I got to say is that, you know, I wish you every luck in your brilliant projects. He's got some great projects going on. I can't talk about them now, but you'd be very, 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 very proud of this young man. And you will hear about them in the future. Okay. So I just wish you every success on your projects. And BLAXIT family, if we could all give him £1. There's 47,000, I don't even know how many, nearly 48,000 subscribers to this channel. If we could all give him £1 or $1.
Let's get it, guys. Let's send this future leader.
All of us could give him £1, $10, yeah? That would set him on his way. Yeah, that would send him on his way, and he could live comfortably without having to worry about money, without having to worry, is he going to be able to visit his family while he's studying? Because he can't afford the fare to fly back. So, you know, it wasn't even in his plan. I asked him, so how many times are you going to come back to see your family? And it's like, oh, it's not in my budget. I'm like, what? So, you know, it's important that we do that. He's like done a small budget for bare essentials. I guess, but how are you going to survive?
They're asking what is his PayPal? What is his PayPal?
He doesn't have PayPal, so we share one.
Okay.
He has access to mine.
Let's have it. What's the PayPal? So it's going to be yours. It's going to be the Bob Collective at yahoo.com. Okay.
Yeah, Bob. Yeah. Black Operation Positive Collective at yahoo.com. That was one of our first underground grassroots organizations in the UK when we were coming together in the 90s, early 90s. And so I kept that. And the organization is still around, actually, by the way. So we're still doing good work. So when people want to talk about Black organizations being inactive or always breaking down, it's not always true, because Bop Collective started in 1994, became established properly and financially in 1996, and is still running projects and programs and supporting other initiatives still now in the UK today. So, and of course, I'm still a part of it, and any initiative that I'm involved in is, of course, involved with Bop Collective. So if you're wondering why I have that email, that is the reason why. So Black Power is always around.
Always.
We're not going anywhere. That's a long time now in the making, and people know who we are, you know, people in the right circles. So I just wanted to tell you something as well, that something strange happened, Usman. I'm going to quickly go because I know you have to go, but I want to share something with you, right? A part of one of my family members, my siblings, part of their DNA test was sent to me, right? And I used to have an obsession, right, with Ramesses III. Even if you look at my email, when you email me at Bot Collective, you'll see that for many, 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 many years, the icon has been Ramesses III, the gold bust, only to find out that I'm a direct descendant.
It was in your spirit. You knew.
So, you know, what I also wanted to say is that we're all Africans, and this is what I'm saying, regardless of wherever we're from, we are all Africans, we are all one family, and we must unite and not allow any negative interventions to stop us from coming home. I don't call myself a repat because I'm an African descendant who is home. Yeah, I don't see myself as that. Repatriation is a journey, it's not a destination. So the destination is home, and Africa is our home. Yeah, and as I've described it, as a mansion with many, 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 many rooms. This is a continent of many, many countries, but it is still, you know, one home for all of us. And we shouldn't allow the Berlin Conference or Europeans or any other nation to divide us. And nobody should come onto the African continent and try to use divisiveness in order to divide us. It's not going to happen. And so today I want to commend those Gambian MPs. I would hope that they take Usman Toure under their wing. Khalifa Saleh, please, Honorable Khalifa Saleh, take young Usman Toure under your wing. Please, I'm asking you, Esafal, Honorable Esafal, please take young Usman Toure under your wing. I'm asking you, Honorable Lamin J. Sane of Brikama South, please take Usman under your wing. I'm asking you, please, Honorable Ibrahima J. Sankara, spokesman for the government, please take young Usman under your wing. I'm asking you, President Barrow, Adama Barrow, His Excellency, please acknowledge and take young Usman Toure under your wing. I am asking Usman Toure MP, Member of Parliament and the National Assembly, please take young Usman under your wing. I'm asking MP Samba Jallow, Honourable Samba Jallow of the National Assembly to please take young Usman under your wing. I'm asking that the fine scholars here, Mr. Sanku Kamara, please take young Usman under your wing. I'm asking for you, my friend, Bala Jane, please take young Usman under your wing. I'm asking for Benjamin A. Roberts, fine author, please take young Usman under your wing. And I'm asking for you, Cornelius A. Gomez, author, please take young Usman under your wing. Because if we do not nurture our talent, if we do not recognize our young talent, if we do not support our young talent, we have failed. And we are failing. If it's the last £10 in my bank, I'll give it to him. That's how much I believe in this young man. Because if our leaders had an ounce of his integrity, we wouldn't be talking about automatic citizenship. It would be a thing of the past, and we would be far advanced into the future of the reconciliation between us as African descendants and our African continental brothers and sisters. The division between countries would no longer exist. The division and artificial boundaries that have been created would no longer exist. The power that these colonialists and colonists and neo-colonialists, or whatever you want to call them, ex-slave masters, ex-slave holders, murderers, killers,
don't forget thieves. Yeah, I was gonna say, don't forget thieves.
Thieves and robbers.
Yeah.
Would never have control. They would never be capital flight and debt bondage. That exists today because we still have colonial laws. We still have colonial governance. We still have colonial powers telling us what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. We still have colonial economical control over our countries. We still have colonial influence on what we eat and import and export on laws, import and export and maritime laws. We have control, they have control over every element of our education systems. every part of our existence. When are we going to be free of them? The only time we can be free of them is when the youth stand up and change the narrative. Our ancestors are not sleeping.
Our babies are waking up, Juliet. I mean, listen to Osman. Listen to him, and you hear it. You hear it, and trust me. Last week I had a show, and I had a young Ghanaian, maybe Osman's age. When you listen to the youth, and we have to remember that the youth, you know, those are the numbers in Africa. You know, there's more young people than there is old people in Africa, and I'm happy to see that the youth, they want this unity. It's like, you know, they're born wanting to connect with us, and I'm just excited because I know that, just like you said, you know, there is nothing that we can't fix. All the things they took from us, we could bring it right back. There's nothing that they stole from us that we can't take back. The only thing we need is unity. We got it. That's why it's like everything that happens now, we have to start positioning ourselves, because the closer we get to uniting, the closer we get to waking up and understanding that regardless of whatever they do, we're one. There's gonna be many attacks, some of which looks like they're gonna be coming from within. Be still, understand that something greater is happening, and everything is fine, and all we need to do is keep focusing on the Blackness, uniting and coming together and not being told any more lies. We are one. We're one. And that can't be changed. They can't take that from us. You see, after 700 years, more than anything, we're ready to sell everything we have, turn our backs on everything we ever know, to go back home. And you think this is just a physical thing? It's a spiritual thing. Move out the way. Move out the way.
Absolutely. I know you want to rest, so listen, I want to thank you for your contribution. And like I said, everything I say comes from here, you know. And so if I get a little bit overexcited, it's because I feel, you know, that you are so deserving of all the support you're getting. So I want to thank everybody that is supporting you already. I'm not going to mention any names, but I would like to thank everybody that is behind, you know, young Uz, and let's make his future a bright one. And I want to thank you for coming on the stream tonight. So Gina, I'm going to just have a little conversation with you. Yeah.
Bye, Osman. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So we're going to wind up now. So, you know, we're going to have a little girls, woman to woman. A little. So there was a song, you know, by a Jamaican artist, and it was like, them can't take Mama Africa from we again. I can't remember. If anyone can remember the song and the lyrics, yeah. Them can't take Mama Africa from we again. Do you remember that song?
No, I think don't remember that song, but I like it already.
Okay, so anyone remember that song? Remember it? I think it was Booker. I met him. I met the artist here in the Gambia. I mean, a lot of artists actually come here. Sizzla Kalonji, Luciano, a lot of Jamaican artists, Chronics, you know, and everybody really resonates and loves it here. And in fact, Sizzla was even given land, I think, you know, as an honor.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. Nanny Maroon says she knows it. So bring it on. Or is it Booker? What's his name again?
Who's the artist? What's the artist?
Who sings Can't Take Mama Africa from we again? Who sings it? Jabooks.
Yeah. Okay.
It was.
I'm gonna go look it up now. I need to hear it because I know you're probably sounding.
Angola. That's it.
Okay. Call Angola. Okay, got it. Thank you, guys.
Okay, I'm coming. Listen, I'm gonna leave you with Adrian because I have to go out to talk to somebody. Yeah, he's gonna have to stay the night. Yeah, it's a bit late.
No, it's okay. You got us.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you with Adrian, but my last word is this. Yeah, you can't grab
What is yours?
What is already yours?
Period.
My sister, my sister. You knew I was gonna say. You read my mind, right?
I was just gonna say, you can't grab what is yours.
Doesn't apply to us. Yeah, we're here with our brothers and sisters. Our reflection is your reflection. Your reflection is our reflection. We are one. As one, we are many, and as many, we are one. And the only way to eradicate racism is to leave it behind and come live with your own kind. Whatever little issues we got, we can iron them out.
Period.
So, BLAXIT family, I love you. Thank you for supporting.
We
Don't
love
forget
you
to
too, Juliet.
the land raffle. Gina, I'm going to close with my hubby, okay?
I love you.
I'm going to run because someone's come to see me. I love you, BLAXIT family.
Building Africa, I sent you. Building Africa, I sent you my email. And you never email me. So my email again is kingrip. Let me type it so you would see it. So Building Africa, please take this email and email me so that we could connect.
You miss Osmond Tory. He was on here. He said some powerful statements. You're gonna have to rewind
Okay.
it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Building Africa, I just put my email there. It's kingrip@live.co.uk. Right? So please email me your number so that we could talk. So yes, my people, as I was saying, we're coming home.
That's it.
Distractions gotta be there. But forget about the distractions. But what we need to do when we come here, we need to do great things with our brothers and sisters here.
That's it.
You know? That's why we're coming home. Right? We're coming home to work and do great things with our brothers and sisters on the continent. As I said, I'm going to say it again. There are people look like us that come in to create problem for us here.
Period.
Right? This been going on since Marcus Garvey time.
Yes.
Yeah? But Marcus Garvey managed to work through it. We got to work through it. We have two types of people coming back to the continent at the moment. We have people coming back for escapism, meaning that they're coming back to change their circumstances. And then we have people coming back that is Pan-Africanist. Yeah? So let's work together,
Period.
especially us Pan-Africans.
One.
Yeah? Pan-Africans. Pan-Africanists, let's work together. What we're doing here, let's go back since the slave trade. Let's go back as far as that. Yeah? What we're doing is the first time that Africa seeing such great reunion, such large numbers of people coming back.
Floodgates is opened.
Yeah? It's the first time that this is really happening. We have people called BLAXIT every day. Somebody called us, Adrian, I just finished pack my container. These decisions that they're making is not no simple decisions.
Yep.
You know? Forget about the news. Don't be disheartened by the news, because we already been in touch with ministers here. They invite us to come and sit down and speak with them. You cannot deny yourself, and you cannot deny who you are. As Bob Marley said, you cannot run away from yourself. You can run as far as you want to, but you still gotta have yourself with you. We are Africans. We returning home.
Period.
Yeah? And when we come back here in the motherland, we got to build together. Patronize the African business too. Eat the African food. Sit down with our brothers and sisters and eat with our hand too. Because that's what we do. When they sit down and they put They're big container. And everybody going, sometimes we eat with a spoon, sometimes we eat with our hands too.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's bonding. Don't be saying, oh no. Embrace your brothers and sisters. Yeah? We know who the real enemy is. Yeah? We know who the real enemy is. And they're going to have to stop divide us. Let's stop them from divide us. Africans, if we work together. I keep stressing that point. If we work together.
The world is ours. The world is ours if we work together.
Yes. I mean, I'm here. I live here in the Gambia. Coming up on 2 years now. Since we started our BLAXIT channel over a year. At no point, no one could go back to any of our videos. I see us disrespecting our brothers and sisters on the continent. No one could go back to any of our videos. I see we put out negativity about the continent. You know? We keep it real. But we have to work together. You see? So we're going to wrap up now.
Yes.
Yeah? We're going to wrap up very soon. Arjuna, thanks for your contribution, sister.
You know, you guys are my family. I'm always here.
And when you come, sister, you're welcome home. Yeah?
I'm coming home and I can't wait. And I know I'm welcomed.
Yes.
I already feel it. I'm not doubting. I'm not doubting.
We'll be there when you're here with us. You know? We are all we got.
That's it.
We are all we got.
That's it. So we can't let anything infringe upon that. Us coming together, us uniting, us working with our brothers and sisters in the continent. We can't let anything.
Mm-hmm. I was just outside speaking to one of a Gambian brother that come to visit us, right? And I said to him, you know what? I'm born in the Caribbean. I grew up in the Caribbean. I moved to England when I was 24 years. And the only reason why I moved to England, I was born in Montserrat. And if you are Google Montserrat, Montserrat is a Caribbean island with an active volcano. It's still a colony of England. When the volcano became active, 1995, right? We were there, and 1997 is when we moved to England, when they opened up this repatriation package or something where we could go to England. Yeah? And give us citizenship because Montserrat is still a colony of England. So when I get there, I work hard. Because my last destiny was always Africa. Because when I was in the Caribbean, I was a Rasta as well. 12 years, I was a Rastafari. A Rastafari always preach about moving to Africa. You know? I know I made the journey. So I'm telling them, I've seen the struggle growing up in the Caribbean. I see them putting a borehole in Buzura. It's a delight to me because I know what it's like to walk for miles to get water when you don't have the water in your house. I know what that is like. It's genuine work coming from my heart as a Caribbean man. Listen, I lived through hurricanes. I lived through volcano. I know what struggle is. No one could tell me about what struggle is. But we need to work together. That's
it. We don't have a choice, y'all. We don't have a choice.
So I have to wrap this up now. Yeah?
Yes.
BLAXIT family, thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you.
The donations that you sent to us. I've done a video of the project to where we are. We're going to upload that video so that you all see where your money is going. They now have clean water coming from the borehole.
Yes.
I'm going to pay the welder to build a stand to hold the big tank. The water is already rich. The water is coming to the pipe. So tomorrow when we build that, hopefully in the next couple of days, the water tank will be up and running water will be there.
This is powerful. This is powerful.
Yes, water is life. Yeah. So, BLAXIT family, thank you all for being here with us.
BLAXIT family, thanks for having me.
Because of you is why we are. Yeah. But we're coming on, brothers and sisters. Let's embrace each other. One love, one air, one destiny. Africa is the future for Black people. Okay? Respect.
Love you guys.
So, Gina, I will see you again soon.
Blessings,
Okay?
Adrian. Blessings.
Thank everyone. Thank you. Yeah. Jules? Is it? Come, Kaf? What are you doing outside? Come inside. Is it end, Jules? I'm ending it.